So is this just another hydrating mist, or does the 2% NAD plus and the fermented black rice actually do something for your skin? Hi, I'm Olga. I review Korean skincare by breaking down the ingredients, the formulations, real world performance, so that you know what's actually worth using. So today I'm reviewing the Haruharu Wonder Black Rice Probiotics Barrier 2% NAD plus. This is the Serum Mist. They really make these titles very long. I've used this for several weeks. I'm about halfway through the bottle. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what works, what doesn't, what I think about this product, and if it's worth it. So Haruharu Wonder is known for their fermented ingredients, especially this line with the black rice ingredient. This brand really leans into skin barrier repair and longevity-focused skincare. So this is a serum that comes in a form of a mist. This is formulated with that NAD plus ingredient that we've been seeing everywhere. I think it's a new ingredient that really is supposed to be this next generation anti-aging ingredient that is tied to cellular repair. So this mist comes in a very minimal but also functional spray bottle. It is a two-phase formula, which means that you need to shake it every time. It comes with water and oil, so before any use, you do want to give it a good shake to activate everything. It does come with a little pump on top, and the mist that comes out when you press it is actually really, really fine. And I would say that it comes out very evenly. It comes in a plastic bottle that is opaque and not see-through, which is great for preserving those ingredients. This is a 2.7 fluid ounce bottle that retails for just about $22. You can easily purchase this on Amazon. So it's not very inexpensive, but it's definitely not some of the high-end prices that we are used to seeing for a lot of skincare. However, for a Korean skincare, I would say that this is a little bit on the more expensive side. So like I said, this comes out with a very fine mist. Once shaken, it feels very lightweight. It does provide a very nice, nourishing layer to your skin. If you open the bottle or just look at the ingredient when you put it on your hand, it does have a milky kind of an essence consistency. So you can definitely apply it this way by applying it to your hands and then directly onto your face. However, when it's applied to a mist, you just get a much more gentle, much more kind of a tempered application, and definitely more cohesive that covers your entire face. I would say that it's definitely very viscous. It is a little bit creamy, a little milky, but for the most part, it's still a very liquid, kind of an essence consistency. This does not have any scent that I can pick up. And when applied to your skin, you totally notice that it gives you a really nice, subtle glow. It does give you a moisturized effect and feel to your skin. So before I break this down and talk about the formulation and ingredients, I did want to just talk about my experience using this. When I bought it, I was a little confused about how to use it and what step to apply this in. It is a mist and it's hydrating. However, it also has some nice ingredients that I think works best if you use it as a serum or as an essence. So the way that I've been using it, I would clean my face and then apply a toner, and then I would use this serum mist as that third step. So for me, I think it makes the most sense to use it when you would apply your serums and your essences. And that's primarily how I've been using it. When I apply it to my skin, I definitely feel that it gives you that glow, that little bit of moisture. It does need a little bit of time to absorb into your skin, but because it comes out in such a fine mist, it really doesn't take much time at all. And it leaves your skin really feeling really soft, really moisturized, very gentle. I wouldn't say it's a dramatic effect, but you do feel the presence of this mist once you apply it. I would say that I have to put at least 5-6 kind of sprays on my face just to cover everything and to make sure that I really get that full effect. I don't think doing 1 or 2 squirts is going to be enough to really notice the the hydration of it, unless you of course choose to apply it to your hand and then onto your face as a serum. Now, something else that I was wondering about is how this would work if you just apply it throughout the day. And this is something I've tried to do midday if I feel like my makeup is looking a little kind of dry, if my skin is looking a little tired. I just went ahead and tried putting this on my skin on top of makeup and everything. I don't know that this is the best way to do it. I'm sure that the absorption is probably going to be diminished a little bit just because you already have all this stuff on your face. But I did notice that it does give me nice hydration, a little bit of freshness, and I really enjoy using it in that way as well. So that just had to do with my initial experience of what you feel when you apply this right away. As far as long-term products, before I get into that, I kind of want to go through the ingredients, break them down, see what's in it and what it's actually designed to do for your skin. So this is designed to hydrate your skin. It's supposed to support your skin barrier and add a light layer of nourishment. This is also, of course, made with that NAD+, which is supposed to help with, generating your cell turnover and kind of renewing your skin. So all of this in a little mist that applies very kind of in a fine, thin layer on your skin. So one of the key ingredients that this is made with, the first one being the fermented black rice extract. Now, this is an antioxidant. So this is something that I didn't know much about, what fermented black rice is, why fermentation, how do they go about all this product. So this is kind of a very main ingredient to their brand and to this line. And so I really wanted to kind of do a bit of a dive into it. So black rice is actually naturally rich in antioxidants. It's supposed to protect your skin from stress that it gets from, the outside world, oxidative stress. It's supposed to help protect your skin from that oxidative stress and kind of the outside elements that damage and harm our skin. So Haruharu actually uses a fermentation process. They typically use like microorganisms like bacteria or yeast to break down that black rice ingredient into smaller molecules. And what that does is actually help increase absorption of those smaller molecules into your skin. It makes it much easier for them to penetrate your skin more easily and more effectively. It's also supposed to enhance your antioxidant activity in your skin. It's supposed to create new kind of beneficial compounds, things like amino acids and peptides. So overall, I think the fermentation just kind of breaks down the ingredient in order to allow it to absorb more easily into your skin and do all that good stuff that it's supposed to do. Some of the things that black rice is supposed to do is protect against environmental damage. It's supposed to help with elasticity. It also works well with repairing that skin barrier. So overall, it's an interesting ingredient, and the fact that they went that extra step in fermenting it is supposed to make it that much more effective. However, it's still a natural ingredient. It's not an active ingredient that's going to give you those dramatic, quicker results. So it is an interesting concept, although it's still something that is very in line with Korean skincare, where it's natural, gentle, and a more of a long-term effect. So another ingredient that is in this formulation are probiotics. They help support skin barrier and just that microbiome of your skin. It is also formulated with niacinamide, which helps with brightening. It improves your texture. It also strengthens your barrier. And of course, NAD+. This is like a precursor, so it actually works on a more cellular level in your skin. It's supposed to provide and help with cellular repair and your cell energy. So overall, a really good skin renewing ingredient. It's also made with hyaluronic acid, which is great for hydration. Another ingredient is betaine, which is soothing and it helps reduce irritation. And it's also made with some lightweight oils that will help seal in that moisture and kind of prevent you losing that water, or your skin losing that water. Some of the less impressive ingredients is butylene glycol, which is just a solvent. It's just a functional ingredient that is helped to improve absorption. It doesn't do much good things for your skin, but it just helps with the formulation. It is also made with emulsifiers that are necessary for mixing oil and water. Like I said earlier, this is a 2-phase formulation. So that's why you need to give it a good little shake every time you're using it, just to mix those ingredients together really well. There are also some plant extracts in here, which probably doesn't give it a huge impact unless they're used in really high concentrations. But if you're maybe sensitive to some extracts, I would run down the list to see what are some of those sensitivities and just to clear of this. So from reading some of the reviews online, I have found a lot of positive reviews. So things like this providing hydration and being lightweight, providing a healthy glow. A lot of people commented that they really like the format that this is delivered in. That spray bottle and mist is just really kind of satisfying and really easy to use. There were, however, some people that weren't too crazy about this product. Some of the negative reviews said that this is not ideal for oily skin, and also that it does have potential for some sensitivities. And lastly, of course, that this does provide really subtle results over time. So as for my experience using it, I would have to agree that initially when applied on your skin, it does provide hydration, it does provide moisture, it gives you a really light and thin film of just kind of a layer of hydration. You can kind of feel it. It does dry down and absorb fairly well, but you can still tell that there is just an extra layer of something on your skin that is making it a little bit more softer and a little bit more moisturized and hydrated. However, when it comes to long-term results, I would say that I haven't personally noticed anything that is dramatic. So I've used this for probably, I would say 4 weeks or so, and it is great when it's on. I haven't noticed a dramatic improvement in my skin or barrier. I am still struggling with some perinasal dermatitis, and I can't say that that has improved it a ton. So overall, it's kind of a mixed review for me. I think that this is a well-formulated mist. It has interesting ingredients. I like the concept of the fermentation of an ingredient to break it down. NAD plus is something that we've been seeing everywhere, and I feel like it's going to be this new groundbreaking ingredient that is really good for you. But I would say that realistically, this is more of a supporting product. It just will provide hydration for you when it's on, but it's definitely not a treatment. I think that those that have really dry or dehydrated skin, this will be a great little extra product to work into your rotation. People that also love this delivery method that like mists and sprays on your skin, that's a very gentle and lightweight, you will also enjoy this. However, if you have really oily skin, if you're someone that is looking for really strong active ingredients and more dramatic results, I think that this will probably not do anything or not do much for you. It's not going to be that payoff that we're looking for with really targeted, really specific products with active ingredients. So overall, I think this is a nice addition to your skincare routine, but definitely not essential and definitely not something that's going to make a dramatic difference or really kind of change things for you dramatically. Having said that, I really have enjoyed using it. It's a really nice kind of like a pampering step in my skincare routine. I use it morning and night, and while I have it, I really do enjoy using it and kind of putting that extra, step on my skin. It does feel really luxurious, but essential or a must-have or, something that will give you great payoff, I really don't think so. So I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed this review and would like to check out some of the previous reviews that I've done on Korean skincare, check out some of my videos and be sure to come back for a next video just like this.